Hey everyone, it's Talking Tapes, and it is me, Cass, and Rick, and Brewster, and we are joined by my coworker and bestie on HorrorCraft, Kylee, who we also do Spooky Moms together, which that is a relevant piece of information because we are talking about parents in horror. So with Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up around the corner, we are talking about each of our favorite parents when it comes to horror. So let's go ahead and get into it. Cue the intro. Okay. All right, we are back.
Sing or something.
Yes, Brewster, you're always supposed to sing.
Gotcha.
Please intro before we start talking, though.
Yeah. Oh shit. Well, we'll cut that part out. It's fine. It's fine.
Or if we say cue the intro, there will be no intro. It's totally fine because the intro would already happen. We're time travelers. We're in the past and the future at the same time. It's all good.
Yeah,
exactly. So we're just winging it. But anyways, I will go ahead and start and lead the charge. So the assignment was to pick a couple or father, mother, whoever you wanted to pick. So for me, this comes as no surprise, but I picked Lily Munster, who is played by Yvonne DiCarlo. And if you've ever seen the Spooky Moms logo, Kylee and I are versions of Lily Munster, me being Lily Munster and Kylee being Morticia. And it was important for us to resemble spooky families. So Yvonne DiCarlo playing Lily Munster, she was playing it in a time where I just don't think people really thought of horror in that way. And also just like spooky things. And she was a very like Pleasantville type of mom, but as a spooky person. So her being spooky never detracted from her being a good mom. She was a good mom to her son. She was a great partner to Herman. And I think it was great. I love the show. I really like the Rob Zombie movie. I know people either like it or don't. I thought it was great. I love their story, their backstory in that, and how they like got together. Sherry Moon Zombie as Lily Munster, I think she was great at it.
There was nobody better than Rob Zombie to even attempt to do that. I mean, the biggest Monsters fan in the world. He actually owns the Dracula.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like
I wish that story.
I love it. I love it. I just wish they would have let him do it in black and white like he wanted to. And there were some other things that he wanted to do that would have got it much closer to what people would have wanted and expected. But
show his wife's kids.
Rob Zombie.
Yeah. No, and I think he is. Like anybody, I mean, I knew that about Rob Zombie even before like really getting into his horror background. Like he is the perfect person. And when he was doing that and it was coming out, I actually saw Rob Zombie at Freaks on Parade, and he did show the trailer, and he showed it, I think, the way that he wanted to show it. And it was coordinated with like the different sets and stuff like that. And I just thought it was perfect. And I feel like that's context you kind of need to know, like how Herman and Lily got together and how everything kind of formulates. And I think that was perfect. So for me, I just think it kind of subverts our expectations as a spooky family because, you know, you think spooky family and you think, oh, well, people are trying to kill each other or like not normal. And they were just very like your everyday family. They just happened to be like Lily happened to be half vampire, half witch. Herman happened to be like a Frankenstein type monster. Grandpa was a vampire. Like it never detracted from who they were as people. And they were great parents. They were great partners to each other. So, and I haven't seen like the full thing, but I have seen clips of the Mockingbird Laid series that they tried to do years ago with Rebecca Romaine and I forget who else was in it, but I actually think that was kind of cool too. So I'd be interested to see if they ever put that on streaming, like watching that in its entirety. So, but yeah, I think Lily Munster rocks, and their mom and dad goth goals. Like, come on. So, Kylie, it is to you.
My choice was the mom, Sarah, from the movie Come Play. Come Play is about a boy named Oliver who has autism and is nonverbal. And he has like a communication app on his devices, and he befriends this entity through the device. The mom is played by Jillian Jacobs. And my pick for her,
he's got everything.
I just identify with her a lot. Going through certain struggles of having a son with severe autism and being nonverbal, and just the things that they go through. They just really, in this movie, kind of zone in on not the bright and shiny great parts about autism, and how mothers have to play many different roles in just being a regular mom and having to advocate and fight for your sons, daughters, vice versa, whatever. But, this entity makes friends with Oliver and starts just kind of doing crazy shit. And, she will do anything to protect her son. And I just really resonate with that because I feel that way about my son, Zane. And it's a great movie. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we actually have a Spooky Moms episode about it. That was our first Spooky Moms episode. But I do think that that's important. That's something that Kylie and I have talked about. A lot of times with horror, especially, they zone in on autism being a superpower or autism being the power that like saves people or stuff like that. And this was just very like, yes, he sees this because it's preying on what he has going on. But it very much too talked so much more about the parents and their struggles and how that makes him susceptible to this monster and different things.
So do you think that this movie was a pretty good representation of autism and how you deal with it as a parent?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Even as far as like social media goes, I don't think people just have this idea about autism and it's a spectrum. Like Cass's kiddo Braden, he's verbal, he's more on the high function, and where my son has like
my son's also autistic, and like I get people that tell me, oh, he there's nothing wrong with him, and first of all, but that's not what they mean. He'll grow out of this, or you should do this, and he'll not be like this. It's like you guys don't get it because my son, I guess you would say high functioning. Like most people can't tell he's autistic, but he is.
Yeah,
that's my son too. So.
And like in the movie, she's trying to have him like play with friends, and like in the beginning of the sleepover, she's like, there's not going to be any hitting, right, Oliver? Like, we don't do that anymore. And like my son can get very aggressive. Granted, he has not been aggressive to like other peers ever. Sometimes maybe to a sibling, but not even so much that. It's more so like me and like his ABA therapist, to be honest, or like teachers at school. And I loved how it portrayed my son's spectrum on autism on that end of the spectrum.
What is happening here?
What is happening, Tiki?
Tiki,
the founding father of Talking Tapes, decided to grace us with his presence.
He did.
He pulled a Lloyd Kaufman. He's fashionably late.
Yes.
What's going on?
What's going on? We're talking about parents and horror, and Cass did hers already, and Kylie is in the process of doing hers, and you're doing I don't know what, but It'll look
I
perfect.
am running late.
That's all good, man. I told them like we'll get started, and if you pop in, we'll just adjust on the fly because that's what we can do. See, since I go live on my show every week, I'm good at adjusting on the fly, just figuring stuff out.
Oh yeah, well I'm here. Look at this thing.
I love that. I love that.
I do too. I fucking love that.
What?
Yeah. So what Kylie was talking about, and I think something that we really brought up very relevantly in that is it's not just the mom. It is the relationship that the mom has with the child. And I think a thing that isn't talked about enough is when you go through the journey of having your child on the spectrum and you're parenting them, you sometimes overprotect them in ways that you don't see later hurts them. There is a sort of like fine line that you have to dance. And there, a lot of times I can fully admit there are times where I feel like I've kind of not towed that line good or not, but you see that in that movie where she's like, we're not going to do this, right? And then she makes him apologize for things, and the kid is like, it wasn't even that big of a deal, like it's okay. And you kind of see where she's kind of held him back in certain ways by trying to push him forward in this way where things would have been fine had she just kind of left well enough alone. And I think with the parents too, you really see what kind of does happen where the dad has to work more so the mom can stay home with their child and take care of their schedule. But there is kind of an underlying resentment because it's the whole idea of like a default parent of I'm the parent that has to put up with everything. You're the parent that just comes and swoops in and is the good guy, but I'm the one that has to sit here and really do all of the hard things. And so I think it does really reflect the complexities with it. And it's just a very honest way of looking at it where it's more like less than just, hey, my kid is autistic, so he has superpowers and that's why the aliens want him. Like it's more or less like the situation is just.
There's always this idea of a kid or a person with autism that they're just super smart, they're hyper fixated on like their interests, and it's just not always like that. Like my son's nonverbal, he does use some sign language, but that, like my son is probably always going to have to be with me or be under somebody's care, and that is a very heavy weight to hold. And so it's just, and like kind of like what you were talking about, Rick, just like the suggestions from other people, you should try this, you should do this, like until you have like literally dealt with a child with autism on the end of the spectrum my son is on, like you have no fucking idea.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Yeah. They don't know. Unless you've lived it and you've dealt with it. And even like with every kid that is on the spectrum being so different, like what I deal with is nothing like what she deals with, or Cassandra deals with, or what you deal with. They're so different.
It's a similar thing as I mean, I was diagnosed with autism at 3 years old. I'm an adult with autism. I've talked about it on the channel. I've talked with Cassandra how I think it's beautiful how you guys treat your kids, because I grew up in the 90s and people, autism wasn't a thing. When you had it, your parents didn't talk about it. It was a dirty secret. And the things that the people try to say, like this is the bracket that all autistic people fit into, are not true at all, because unless I tell people I have it, I've gotten so good at masking it that it's very hard to tell until like you start really getting to know me, and then I start talking and it's like, wow, there is something that is a little different about him. And everyone's different, and you can't pinpoint, because one thing works for one, that doesn't mean the other one that's going to work for the other. Every child is different.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a really good point, because for me and Kylie, I would say that's the reason our friendship is as strong as it is there is even this idea in the autism community, and I faced that a couple times, where it's like, oh, well, your son is verbal. You don't go through the same struggles. I go through different struggles. It just doesn't look like that. And
struggles.
Yeah. It's just they're
and then when they start getting older and like getting into teen years and puberty, like that just is like the autism goes on steroids, and there's so many different other like things that pop up, and just a lot of it's very difficult, and like it's a lot of shit. And it's just because your kid talks does not mean that like they don't have autism, or that like it's not there, or that they've grown out of it.
That's what I get all the time. Oh, he'll grow out of this, or he'll be. There's nothing wrong with him, and this and this. They tell me all these things. It's like you don't understand. Like, yeah, he seems like he's cool, but then sometimes he's not cool. Sometimes he flips out over like really little things that go wrong in his life, and it's the end of the world.
And it's never something they grow out of. I'm almost 30, and I scream and I cry.
Yeah.
I still do it.
Yeah.
I just married a wonderful woman who knows how to handle it. And that's a beautiful thing about life. You know what I mean? Like, even in the older age, like, they will find someone that will understand them. And that's a wonderful thing to look forward to. And it's one thing I love. That's why I always tell people that have children that I have this, and it happens to me. And, it's what I have. I mean, I can't listen to certain noises. My house, if you come in my house, it always smells wonderful because I can't handle weird smells.
True.
So I have to always smell candles or I freak out and everything. But it doesn't matter. When they're going to do good. It's just, I don't know where I was going with that. But
no, I understand completely where you're going from, because like, even though my son is maybe he's verbal and he's more maybe on the socially emotional mature side, he has a lot of medical issues, a lot of complicated medical issues that is consistently affect his life. So even if you meet him for the first time and you think, oh yeah, he's just a regular kid, like first of all, it took a lot to get him to that point. And second of all, there are a lot of things, because he is very good at masking, like you, Tiki, where you won't know that unless you know Braden. And it has been something that we have struggled with. Like, I've watched my kid be in horrific pain and just completely be fine because he has no concept of pain. And I'm the one that's like, oh my gosh, like, how are you even...
A very big, that's why I'm tattooed every inch of my body. And it's because I don't understand how much it hurts.
Yeah, definitely.
And I say it to people all the time. I can say I have a high pain tolerance. It's more or less, I'm like, people like, you have your pinky toes tattooed? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I tried that. It hurts. And it sucked. Don't get me wrong. But you definitely do not feel pain as much as neurotypical. And then when it gets really bad, we act like we're dying. It's a nice double-edged sword.
Zane will be 10 in December, and he finally will say when something hurts, or like if he gets cut, like he wants a Band-Aid, and like he never used to do that. So there was a lot of time, even like being sick, there's a lot of times where he's sick and you won't even really, but like it's not like he can tell you, or he can tell you when something hurts.
Right. So with my son, like it's one thing we're kind of dealing with is like helping him understand what autism is, and of course us as well. And he knows that he's different. He could tell that. And we were at a horror convention, and we ran into the autistic tiger. I don't know if you know who that guy is, but you should follow him on social.
Yes.
Freaking amazing artist. But he was like, yeah, he's autistic. Well, not like you, but like you, And he kind of understood that, and he got really excited that somebody else was like him. Because he knows he's not like other people, and sometimes that affects him, But that was really cool, and they hung out a little bit. It was cool. Tiger, he's also nonverbal, but like he's nonverbal, but he says like some things sometimes, but not really. Like he made some ice cream. They had a guy making ice cream there, and he did that. And he said that he liked it, but he didn't. I think that's the whole thing. The only thing he said the whole time I was there. But yeah, dude can like draw like anything. It's like weird. Yeah, like he just and quick too. It's like, dude, wow, that's just amazing. But he doesn't speak. But yeah, it was like really cool meeting that guy though, because it like helped Ricky see somebody that was like him, but again, not like him. But he related to him, so that was cool.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people forget that a lot of people in the horror genre itself are autistic. Like there are tons of people like, David Howard Thornton, and we've seen so many people later in life that have come out and have been like, I got an autism diagnosis and it finally makes sense. So I think people have to realize that that's one of the beautiful things about horror is that it does highlight different things that we have going on. And I think for Kylie and I both seeing that movie, it's like we felt seen because that is a very isolating thing as a parent of a child on the spectrum is you don't really fit in with other parents and they don't understand certain struggles. They don't understand boundaries. So I mean, it's just an incredible example of filmmaking and a movie. I think that people just don't understand the underlying significance of why something like that is important.
Well, right on. We're definitely going to check that one out and watch that as soon as we can. It sounds really cool. Sounds like something Ricky might be interested in too. So we'll check that out together. Brewster, what you got, brother?
I fell really out of the conversation being the only one without any kids.
I'll put one in you, Brew.
I appreciate that.
I'm pretty good.
I mean, but you get like the cool, crazy horror uncle status. Like,
oh, for sure.
I mean, I can't.
My kids have like 60 of those. So.
I'm gonna go with one of my favorites growing up when I was a kid. The Monster Squad, the dad of the Monster Squad.
Yes.
I don't know what his actual Stephen Mott is that?
Yeah, his son, if you don't know, is Gabriel Macht, who plays Harvey in Suits.
I don't watch Suits, so all right, cool.
Yeah,
I'm just glad somebody was able to pronounce his last name for me. I like his character because at the end, he after seeing his partner get killed and then his son Sean was right about the monsters and stuff, he steps up and while not trying to, he tried to kill Dracula the wrong way. He was still like ballsed up to do it. He didn't care. But also because the beginning of the movie when him and Sean are watching Groundhog Day Part 12 via binoculars at the drive-in, he says, he surprises his son because he wanted to see it with him or he wanted to see it with his dad, but his dad shows up last minute with Burger King and he's just kind of sitting there and he's got that like, what are we watching now kind of look on his face. And that reminded me of my old man when I was a kid. And there was certain horror movies that he could stomach and would let me watch and go see them with me. And even though he didn't want to, he was still like, fine, let's go see this one, So that one little scene right there kind of like just brings back flashbacks. It was probably from watching the Monster Squad for the 10,000th time. You probably sit down and be like, all right, let's watch this shit again. So
I guess Tiggy.
All right. So when we picked this subject, I'm going to be honest, I thought we were picking the worst parents. So I did all of my.
I don't think there wasn't
much of us rules and stipulations.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about the worst parent. It's fine.
No, I have a good choice for a controversial good pick in parenting of horror, and that'll be Charles Lee Ray.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, but you know what? You know what?
I like it.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah.
So he has a line in the Chucky TV show where he says, "I have a gender fluid child. I'm not a monster." And I think even if a serial killer can support their gay child, why can't a normal non-serial killer guy who's not in a doll body,
That's very valid.
Yeah.
Ray, that is a good one.
Yeah, because if you think about it, like even in like not even just the TV show, but even in the movie when his gender fluid son gets introduced, there are things that he has to like grapple his mind around, but like he is
to do that though,
right? He does the work, and it's kind of like, okay, if this man fucks up people for a living and he can wrap his mind around this, and he was a very prolific serial killer that now is a killer doll, then where's your excuse? Because that's kind of not valid. So I do think that is a good choice, because even though Chucky and Tiffany like fucking hate each other, especially as the Chucky series goes on and we find out more about Chucky and Tiffany's relationship, the one thing that they get along about is their kids, and they are the kind of people that even if they want to be at each other's throat, they want to kill each other, they still are like, our kids come first.
I love Glenn and Glenda.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, right there. Right there. Bam.
I was going to grab mine, but I was already off this screen enough in this episode. So,
Movie grabbing.
Chucky and Tiffany, I have on my floor over there.
Oh, I just got the movies. I got the Lego Chucky over there.
I got the Glenn doll for Christmas like last year, the year before.
That's the only one I'm missing. I still have to get Glenn.
Yeah, I got him right there. And Trick or Treat Studios, Spirit Halloween, they released like pretty much the one from the movie for Chucky, and it comes in the box like the movie and everything like that. And a friend of mine got it for his kid for Christmas, and we were over there for Christmas, and I seen it. Oh, dude, it's so awesome! I wish I could get one of those. And I went to go buy one, and they were sold out. So on Christmas, I get a box, and it's the size of the Chucky doll. And I'm like, no shit, she fucking got that for me. And I opened it up, and it was Glenn, which is cool, I guess, but it just wasn't. I really wanted that Chucky and the Good Guy box.
The Chucky and the Good Guy box is sweet.
Right, yeah, but I got Glenn, so.
And highly collectible, because I can tell you, as somebody who has the Chucky Child's Play Loungefly, the amount of money that motherfucker goes for right now is astronomical. It is really
ridiculous.
Oh, when I bought it, it was on sale, but that's been a couple years ago. Now it's like it's almost like $300, $400, $500.
I'm about to sell my wife's. I got hers at a flea market for $10.
There you go. Yeah,
dude. There we go.
Sorry, baby. We got to buy VHS. Daddy's gonna have to sell the Loungefly.
I'll give Christina mine. I'll be like, here, just give it back to me when I need to use it.
They're like the Louis Vuitton to the spooky kids.
They really are, because once they're gone, like some of them, I think that they come out with and they're like, oh yeah, those are going to be collectible. They aren't as much. And some of the other ones, I'm just like, I am sitting on an astronomical amount of money that I just didn't even need to know that kind of knowledge I had. Like, don't like it's just bad.
Your whole purse collection. Come on.
We're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Right on. Okay, so I guess I am up. Now, this is the first I was here when we were doing this, so I didn't prepare shit. How about that? So I don't know if you guys talked about it on the thing. I missed it. So I am going to go with, of course, I'm going to go with Pamela Voorhees.
Hell yeah, you are.
Friday the 13th, because I'm the Friday the 13th guy. So Pamela Voorhees, I mean, is there a better word?
Wasn't she just cast for the TV series by
she was.
I can't pronounce the woman's name, but
Velma.
Linda Cardellini, who was Velma in Scooby-Doo.
And
that movie made me a man.
Wasn't she in Cliff Barton's wife in Avengers?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, she was.
Yes.
A lot of things. She has a decent look for it too. So she looks like she'd be a good young Pamela. So that's cool. And also, what's his name? My buddy Dave Brown, who did he made his name was Jason, which you could find on YouTube. It's very good. It's like Friday 13th 1.5 in the middle of 1 and 2. Oh. And he's doing a Pamela thing too coming out. And the girl that's playing Pamela for him, who I'm friends with on Facebook, and I can't remember her name, it's Mel something. And it's crazy because he released a teaser trailer, and she looks really cool in it. She looks like really crazy and like a lot like Pamela. But then you see, I added her on my Facebook after that because I wanted to follow her. And then and everything else she's doing, like pinup poses and stuff. It's like she's like stupid hot. But like in the trailer, she's hot. So it's weird just to see like how different she is when she becomes this role, how different she is. And I feel so stupid not knowing her name. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
Well,
But,
I feel like we
Mel
talked.
Heflin, Mel Heflin. So follow her too because she's cool. But yeah, she's gonna be Pamela in Dave Brown's thing that he's making.
I feel like we talked about this on the Women in Horror, but like a big part of the big part of like what makes Friday the 13th, the first one, so powerful is you're never expecting it to be her. Because yes, she is, she has every reason to do it, but you just don't think sweet old mom would do it. And she's the first one that really kind of proved to everybody in the horror genre that, like, yeah, don't be deceived by the way that I look because you killed my son and I'm going to slit your fucking throat.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's got that going on, like 100% protective of her. I'm going to say overprotective, but yeah, protective of her kid and like seeks vengeance for her kid, looks out for her kid. Her kid was her everything. And yeah, so is she a good mom? Yeah, probably. But a good person? Probably not.
I mean, sometimes we do the worst things for the people we love.
Yeah.
And that is a prime example of it. I can't say that if somebody did something similar to my child that I wouldn't go off.
You're going to snap.
You're going to go off the deep end. Now, did she have every right to kill random people, but also too at the same time, fuck those teenagers, like fuck those kids. Should she have killed the actual ones? Probably. Like that would have been justified because listen, if you're not going to pay attention and you're going to be a lifeguard or something like that, like pick something else. Pick a lane.
They did kill them. I think the first two in the movie were the two that were watching him.
Oh, yep.
So
Sheets in North Olmsted needs its own Pamela Voorhees.
What's that?
Sheets in North Ridgeville needs its own Pamela Voorhees.
You posted something about
that.
Oh my! I'm almost 30, and I went in there, and it was literally like 90 teenagers in the parking lot, and I've never been so scared. My Chemical Romance makes way more sense to me now than it ever had.
Yes, it does.
Where did these come from?
What happened?
I don't know. I was at the drive-in. It's just a lot of them, man. They're all in the store. I was like, I can't beat up any of them.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't go in there. They were rude. I was like, oh, man, I am too hot-headed.
Well, they were checking you. They were trying to challenge you, huh?
Oh, no, they weren't. But I was just had the thought they might.
Yeah,
and I was going to have to play Streets of Rage right there inside that fucking Cheeks.
Start like random fucking kids.
Be like, you guys are going to have to bring your dads up here. I'm challenging someone.
I mean, I kind of get that, though. I've been at the public pool a lot lately here in Norwalk, the rec center, and I will tell you, even my child will look at me and be like, Mom, these kids are fucking crazy. He's like, these kids can't go outside. And I'm like, Brayden, you can't say that. He was like, I don't care. I will tell them that they can't go outside.
These kids have good parents like the ones we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So watch out. You just never know who's going to be a Pamela Voorhees. That's all we're saying.
All I'm saying is we just need one for Sheets.
Yeah. Drop your location next time, Tiki.
Well, it's the same thing out here in Manor. They got one. It's all the Fast and Furious wannabe douchebags who hang out in the park.
I would rather deal with the nos drinking assholes.
Well, you are a nos drinking asshole.
I am. That's why I'd rather deal with them. At least their cars are cool and I could fight them legally.
I don't think it's legal. It's more illegal than beating up little kids, but no, you're not allowed to get in.
Listen, I will fight the teenagers if I get them in waves, not all at once. Waves of 3 teenagers, I'll go down, but I probably won't win the first wave. Too old, I'm brittle.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my gosh. No, don't do it, Tiki. Don't do it. Just
smart.
Just wait. So it'll be fine. We'll fight to live another day, go to another Sheets.
Yeah.
So
you really wanted his Mott sticks.
I wanted a fucking milkshake, bro, and I was like,
those Reese's milkshakes, they were fucking heaven. I totally jizzed my pants every while eating one of those things.
Good ass milkshakes.
Right on. You want to talk about any more parents in horror?
I mean, are there any that stick out for you guys right now that you just think
yeah.
are? I mean, well, let me finish what I was going to say. Any that stick out to you right now that you just feel are absolute trash are ones that people put up on a high pedestal, and
there definitely has to be some. I mean, the dad in the dad in Amityville, he kind of sucked, right?
Wait. Which Amityville? The original, the remake, or the sequel?
All of them.
Well,
Ryan Reynolds, the one with the hot
all
dad.
three. Yeah, no, all three. Yeah,
the dad in the first one was
well.
Ryan Reynolds. He was possessed. The one in possession was fucked up. He was the one who was beating his wife.
I'd let him kill me.
Well, here's the thing. Even in the original, like, I'm sorry, that dad is still not a sympathetic character. You can fight me all day, every day on that. He is just, that dad to begin with is not a good character. It's the same. Okay, listen, I'm gonna lay it all out. It is the same argument of what I'm about to say, and I'm probably about to piss off a lot of fucking people. But the dad in The Shining is horrible.
Jack Torrance is the worst fucking dad.
Jack Torrance is a horrible fucking character. He is even before whatever took hold of him, he's still a fucking asshole.
Hotel.
Yeah. It wasn't
beating his wife. They kind of alluded to that, I think, a little bit. You know,
that's why I was
he was all shaking and scared all the time. You know, you don't get what that just like because.
Well, that's why I said the dad in Amityville 2, The Possession, which I think is a prequel, was because he was beating his wife. You saw it on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think there's also just an argument for people who should not be fucking together. Like, I'm sorry. The Conjuring, when it first came out, I appreciate what it did, but you cannot keep telling me that Ed Warren was this great fucking person when we all know that he was not, and he definitely was not. Like, you leave your kids alone in a fucking house with possessed objects. Like, what the fuck?
Well,
I'm sorry.
Ed and Lorraine Warren are the greatest con people of all time.
Truly. And the fact that you sit there and you make movies making them like they're this horror super Jesus and that they're good parents, like, it's just not happening.
I just like watching Patrick Wilson in that movie. I fucking love that dude.
Yeah, I like that. That's the only thing redeemable about that character is it's like, okay, Patrick Wilson is him. That's fine. Okay, I guess we're rocking and rolling with this. But like, they are not good parents. I mean, like, and it sucks because Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are fucking amazing in that. Like, they're great, but you can't sit there and tell me that you're good parents and then literally every fucking movie you guys are dipping out on your kid and leaving her with all these fucking things that try to possess her. Like, at some point you have to just sit at home and take care of what you need to take care of.
John Winchester did it in Supernatural. All right, that's all I'm saying. He left him in hotel rooms, seating hotel rooms.
I mean, I can't be mad at Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and his sons were hot, so come on.
The worst parents in the history of all horror films are the parents from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep, I was just about to say that.
Film, any one of them, but yeah, they are the absolute worst. Like,
but one of the other best parents in a kind of a horror movie, the parents from Scary Movie, her dad, the first one. When he goes, I'm about to leave. Daddy's got to go to Mexico. Love him.
That is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
I got a tornado watch right now.
Nice.
Oh,
all right. So then we should wrap this up. Is that what we're saying?
Maybe, yeah.
Thank you, Kylee, for taking the time to join us for this thing, and let's get the hell out of here. Then do we gotta like?
Be kind, rewind, tape heads. Brewster, say the thing.
Stay cool, freaky frighteners.
There we go. We're out.
Bye.